Alright, so we survived Thanksgiving. Yesterday ended up being kind of like just a day off-ish. Spent most of it doing chores and some cleanup stuff out in the garage. I did kind of mess around with the bike I have out there, but I was kind of fixing it up, so I wouldn't say it was like a full cardio session, but we definitely got back on track with the calorie tracking. I'm pretty sure 2 days ago we went over our caloric intake, not by a ton, but we were over, so kind of on par with what I was expecting with the holiday and everything. But the nice thing is now we're pretty much on cruise control until Christmas holidays. That's when the next feeding frenzy kind of comes into consideration, but I'm hoping by then we're nearing the end of our cutting cycle, so it won't be as much of a concern if we're looking at starting to bulk. Either way, today we are back in the gym, and it's going to be today is legs. I'm just trying to remember if I lower. Yeah, so today is like legs after the push-pull cycle. So isolation, leg curl, leg extensions, prone, probably some glute bridges, and obviously calf raises. My right knee's been a bit weird lately. I don't know what's going on with that. It doesn't seem to be anything as far as like specific movements or anything like that. I think it's just probably got a little bit of a, I don't know if it'd be like a I don't say arthritic pain, but it's just right in the joint there. But like I said, it doesn't seem to be any issues if I'm lifting anything. It just seems to be if I stand on it in a weird way. So I'm a little Tylenol Advil, see if that fixes it up. Other than that, nothing else really much to report. The videos, it's been funny. I've been putting them on YouTube, and it's like, I don't know. It's funny to even think that there's videos up there that I made. They're not doing anything crazy as far as any performance or like that. Just a couple of them have 1 or 2 views, and I think it's only a couple minutes, so about what I expected as far as a random vlog style video from a random person would do as far as alright, so I ended up taking the day off work today. I was feeling a little under the weather yesterday. Thought I'd caught maybe what the rest of the family had over the weekend. But I'm feeling a little better today, so we should be good by our night shift tomorrow night. So that does mean today, though, I get some extra time to hopefully work on these videos. I'm probably going to have to put up like 3 or 4 videos today. I'm so far behind that my hard drive's getting full of all these recordings. Regardless, today's lift, cardio went well. It was a little slow at first, but once I got into the groove, no issues. The leg exercises went really well too. I find I enjoy the isolation exercises a lot more than the compound. And I think that's probably true for most people, because those heavy compound lifts are tough on the body. They use a lot of energy. What's going on up here now? And just generally aren't really the most comfortable thing to push. So the extensions and curls went well. Weights, I've been maintaining those pretty consistently throughout this cut, so that's a good sign. I'm hoping that once we're able to get into a caloric surplus, then we can start putting on some extra reps and eventually some extra weight on those exercises. Traditionally, and I said this before, I've always, not intentionally, but I feel like I've neglected legs, and I think that's probably generally the rule for most kind of I don't know, you want to call it like hobby weightlifting. Like if you just go to the gym to kind of get in shape, legs always seems to be the last muscle group that gets the attention. So I've been trying to kind of flip the script on that a bit this time around. It's been it's recycling, that's what. Something I've always kind of said, this time when I start my routine, I'm going to be consistent with legs, and then it always seems to fall through the cracks for some reason. But not this time, because I have you all to hold me accountable, and these videos I have to follow up on. So yeah, so what we do today, I did independent leg extensions, independent leg curls, followed by calf presses on the Smith machine, and after that went to prone leg curls, and then we did the glute bridges hip thrusting machine, and that was it. We were at about an hour and 10 minutes for that workout. So is it still running? No. Yeah, an hour and 11 minutes. So all in all, everything felt good. The knee that I was mentioning in the kind of pre-script little monologue there we had didn't bother me, so that's good. I was gonna try and get some post-gym video footage in the studio room, but I went to turn on my camera and I hadn't charged the battery, which is why you're plugged into my truck right now charging. So I have to hop inside. We're gonna get the girls brought up to school, and then I'll probably finish off with another little quick video before we close this one off. Let's turn that down. All right. Kids are successfully dropped off, minus our one straggler that's hanging out for the day. He's been a bit awry from his usual routine. He's been having a difficult time with his naps and not really as agreeable as he usually is. So a little bit more of a challenge than usual, because he's usually a pretty easy guy to get along with. So I'm not sure if it's because he's been feeling under the weather and caught whatever the girls and Amy had, or if it's just like the terrible twos everyone says. Either way, yeah. Either way, he's going to be hanging out with me today, and we'll press on and see what we can do. One thing I am going to be doing today is we have to do a interview prep question. So one of my buddies that got in 2 years ago now, we did a lot of this when I was practicing for the interviews I got 2 years ago. So I'm going to record that, and I'm going to send them off to him, and he's going to give me some feedback. Yes, a ghost, yes. There's a ghost in the trees there. what I'm likely going to do also is I'll probably upload them with like a pre and post script kind of thing, just to kind of give some context on what I'm talking about. And I might do like a separate playlist with just like those kind of interview things, so people can kind of have an idea what my prep looks like for the interview stuff. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. My big thing I remember from practicing a couple of years ago was, I've already mentioned with these videos, is the ums. Instead of having just like quiet, like empty air, I guess people call it, I always feel like I have to fill it with ums or just keep talking. So I'm really trying to work on the like limiting, like be more concise with what I'm saying to get the same message across without using a bunch of verbal diarrhea to get it across. The other thing that I was really bad for was the you know like this or you know that. And I remember when I was doing one of my courses, I only took this last year, so it's something I picked up on, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it when I did my interview prep last time, but yes, hello. When you're doing interviews, you should try to avoid using things like you know this, you know that. And it's always best to try to, I just did it there, is to present the information as though you're, telling, oh my God, now I'm going to be doing it all the time. Present the information as if you're teaching somebody. So assume they don't know what you're talking about and give them all the details they need so that you can give them an informed, idea, or have them understand where you're coming from based on all the information. So try to avoid assumptions. Avoid assuming everyone who's interviewing knows exactly what you're talking about. And the big thing with med school interviews and med school applications, especially for the school I'm applying to, is it's not always physicians or medically trained personnel that are interviewing you or being involved with the onboarding process. So there likely is going to be instances, especially with these applications, where the person might not know what you're talking about because they're not from a medical background, or they're not disciplined or even aware of some of the medical verbiage that you might use. So I think that's an important skill to kind of be able to display during these interviews, is using appropriate language, good communication skills, and show that you're able to convey information to a wide variety of individuals. Because if you're going to be a physician, especially family physicians, your primary audience is going to be with your clientele, right? The patients you're working with. I mean, obviously you're going to be doing referrals and ordering things with other specialists and stuff like that, but primarily the people you're talking to most often is going to be your patients. Whereas if you work in an emerge department or a specialty unit, there is a lot of conversations that happen between professionals, and you're going to be using that professional or that medical language a little more frequently. So that's what's going to happen today. I do need to also trim down these videos and get a bunch of them uploaded because, like I said earlier, my hard drives are just getting loaded up with content. What's up? What do you see? Yes, there's a bus over there too. A city bus. It's stopped right now. It's picking people up. Yeah. So I gotta go through that content, clean it up. Not really clean it up, but just get it out of my hard drive and probably post it as videos. I don't know how I'm going to get through. I need to catch up to where I am right now because I feel like I don't know if I'm even at the end of September yet with the content I have. So I got to get through all that. So I might just do 2 uploads and do like a I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's bright, eh? I might just have videos that upload like daily like the day of my recordings, and then attach other recordings on the same time, but just have them from like an earlier date just to get them off my hard drives. I don't want to delete them because I think there is some merit to having them on YouTube so you can go back and see the progress or the process, I guess I could say, of going from super awkward and unable to record myself to somewhat awkward still. What? But we'll see what that schedule or release timeline looks like. It's gonna be multiple videos a day for a few days anyways, so I can just clean it up. Either way, I think for today that's all I really have as far as updates and information. Still waiting to hear back for, interview requests and stuff. That's not going to be for a couple months. So yeah, trucks. There's lots of trucks here. It's the highway. And so we're on limbo for the interview or for the med school application stuff. We're still going to work on interview prep though, because if I wait until I find out if I'm getting interviews or not, it's going to only be about a month of warning. So I'll prepare for the best case scenario and hopefully we get it. And worst case scenario, there's a lot of videos of me talking on YouTube for fun, I guess. I think at the end of the day, if I am unsuccessful with getting an interview, what is happening here? At the very least, it'll help develop my communication skills, hopefully. Hey, chill. Getting all wound up. And if somebody else is going through the same process, then it could be some reassurance. I mean, this is my 4th time applying, so it's, there's, like I said in my last video, thousands of people applying and they can only accept 100 or so, so it's all about the competition. Either way, we're going to leave it off at that for now. If you are still sitting around watching or standing or whatever you're doing, thanks for sticking around this long. If you're interested to see what's going to happen, follow along. I'm going to be trying to post these every day, at least, every day, maybe every second day, depending on my content I record. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.